My name is Michael Schreiber. The business is South Bay Customs. Oh, no, I've been obsessed with motorcycles for long before I was ever able to ride them. I mean, I was like the kid that always had every clipping of, if it wasn't a clipping out of a skateboard magazine, it was a clipping out of a motorcycle magazine plastered all over my bedroom walls when I was a kid. I worked for a bunch of different dealers and industry, people over the last 20 years, maybe leading up to that. Different positions from technician to management, all kinds of different things. I was always the guy that thought that I knew a better way to do something. Always thought, I was right. And so I finally got frustrated of working for other people and being told what to do. So I decided to quit my corporate job with Harley and sold my classic car, as well as my girlfriend sold her classic car. It was the seed money that we used to start South Bay Customs. South Bay Customs is motors, art, and music. I mean, it's not just a slick motto. It's actually what we do. I mean, that's our business model. I build motorcycles. During the day, that's my day job. An art gallery here in-house. My girlfriend Robin is an artist. She displays her art here on a regular basis. We bring in artists from all over the area, individual art shows or group art shows. And on a weekly basis, we also host live music from acts not only all around LA, but all over the country. I've always been obsessed mechanically, like from Legos and erector sets to taking apart my mom's appliances when she wasn't looking when I was a kid, I never had a day of auto shop or any practical training. It's all just sort of been a lifetime hobby, obsession, disorder, I don't know what you'd call it. There really isn't much of a process, and sometimes that can be frustrating or a little disillusioning for my customers. You see bike builds on TV where there's CAD designs of a concept bike, and there's a picture of what they're going to build, and this is what they're going to get. And people get a little frustrated sometimes because I can't tell them exactly what it is that they're going to end up with. I mean, I'll talk and I'll consult with people and get a lot of ideas of what they want. We'll come up with the general concept, but the idea of the end result will have changed 5 or 10 times from beginning to end, and I don't even know exactly how it's going to end up. The inspiration for the design was just a chance for me to do something just for me with nobody's input, exactly what I wanted, with no rules. That was pretty much it. It's a culmination of everything that I grew up on, everything that I'm interested in terms of dirt bikes, street bikes, Harleys, hot rods. It's a little bit of everything, all in a motorcycle that doesn't really fit into any one class. And that's what I like about it. People ask, what style of bike is it? And say, it isn't. I don't know. Well, the motor obviously relates to, a Harley. It's a 72 shovel head, which is very typical of like a Harley, bobber, build. A lot of the controls, the hand controls, the front end, the foot controls are all very race-inspired, road racing. The tire, it's got a nice wide, very blocky, slick rear tire, which is sort of very hot rod inspired, as well as the pipes, just two drag pipes, almost like you would see on a Top Fuel dragster. The purpose of the build was at the end of last year to go to Bonneville and race during the speed trials. The energy and the vibe out there, I don't know if you know much about the event or the history or whatever, but it has, its reputation is that of being very friendly and cooperative and everybody helps each other, and it did not disappoint at all. The people out there are so generous and good-spirited, and it lived up to every expectation I had. It was one of the greatest things, if not the greatest thing I ever did. Racing down the legendary Bonneville Salt Flats at over 100 miles an hour on a machine that I built with my hands, it doesn't get any better than that. Sort of a bucket list, I built the bike behind me for a really good client of mine, actually one of my original clients when I first started the business, and he had an older bike that was sort of just like a problem child, you know. I mean, it was always here with something breaking and very frustrating, but he was really attached to it. One day, he decided that he wanted to have a custom bike built by me, so we took the motor out of his bike that he had, you know, been so attached to forever, and that was the beginning of this project. It was a pleasure working with him. He gave me complete artistic freedom. He had come to know me and my building style over the years. Yeah, he just kind of dropped off the motor and would check in from time to time on the progress, but gave us complete artistic freedom, and it was a pleasure to work on. I guess you'd call it a bobber. You know, that's the sort of style. Again, kind of heavily hot rod influenced, you know, from the exhaust, which sort of looks like, you know, maybe like some old headers off of a you know, an old 50s hot rod or something. A lot of rivets, you know, detailing, stuff like that. It's like riding a beach cruiser with a really fast motor on it. I mean, the thing is light. It literally feels like you're riding a bicycle, except, you know, a bicycle that does 130 miles an hour. Not probably 120, but still faster than you'd really want to go. Yeah, it's shocking how well the bike handles, and that's really important in all the bikes that we build. I mean, it's fashion meets function, you know? There's no sense in having a really beautiful looking bike if you can't get on it and go ride it, you know? So you kind of have to mix the two. Because it's coming from my creativity, it's almost like I'm picking a little piece of me out and leaving it on every bike, so I almost feel like a piece of me is leaving with each bike. I think that's what my attachment is. Yeah, I mean, I have days where I question myself all the time, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. I mean, my worst day here is better than my best day working for somebody else. I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way.